Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith. I am up here in Vancouver directing my 3rd episode of The Flash, and I'm gonna bring all of you inside the stages with me. Come on! This is the hallway of the Cortex. The Cortex is the main set on The Flash. It's kind of like The Flash's clubhouse.
Get down to the Cortex, like, right now.
Grant Gustin, ladies and gentlemen, the Flash himself. Fastest man alive? Nay, best dancer alive. Look at this move. He just fell into that
You
groove.
were doing it first.
We've seen you sing and dance.
I'll be there in a flash.
Barry.
How was that?
It was weird, because we had Glee people up here, like Darren Criss.
Put a little love in your heart.
Over the course of 4 years, we've watched you go from, oh, that's that girl that Barry grew up with and likes, to this season, the leader of Team Flash.
7 officers and Argus agents down.
What's it like watching Iris's character develop over 4 seasons?
It's amazing, and I feel like the last time we did this sort of interview, you were asking me what would it be like for you to suit up, and here we are this season, we're finally seeing her suit up, so that's pretty cool.
I'll take it from here.
Now that you've run, what's left?
I don't know what it's left. I hope there's something so I can keep a job.
Yeah, to say the least.
People are speculating about children. I mean, that's the next step in a marriage, so who knows? Maybe we'll see Iris full-bellied and with child.
We're too late.
If you love Cisco's lines, there's a good chance that Carlos came up with it. That's the case, right?
How do you know that? Forget it. I don't care. Thank you, Todd Helbing, for letting me change virtually every line in the episodes. This thing we got going on, this is real good.
The first big thing that I remember you from was Sky High, which also ties into Flash, superhero stuff. You've been surrounded by costumes
For a long time.
Let's go.
I believe in only using my powers when the situation demands it.
It's incredible how they've changed. You know, on Sky High, Kurt's costume had a cooling system inside of it that like had cold water running through it to keep him cool. You know, obviously Grant's suit is a little bit more form-fitting, so there's none of that.
Yeah, there's no cooling on that
They've
too.
come a long way, for sure.
It's a little snug.
The suit is very cool, but is it a pain in the ass to wear?
It's just like hot, like today. But I think as far as superhero suits go, it's pretty functioning.
These are the deep questions on the Flash.
Cut. It's cut.
Director's calling for a cut, ladies and gentlemen.
That feels really powerful.
It was good, right? That was some good stuff.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. We got a whole bunch of new Flash and Arrowverse stuff to talk about. They just confirmed that pretty much everything on the CW has been renewed for a new season, so I'll explain that. But there were actually a couple funny moments during that promo where they give you an idea of like where their headspace is going for future seasons. So I will talk about my predictions for Flash Season 5 at this point. But obviously, we still have several episodes to go this season, so there's always the opportunity they could take either a really good or a really bad left turn. So as we go along, we can just edit our predictions just based on new information. But if you're finding me for the first time, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. There's a new round of that Flash Ring giveaway. Hell yeah, we got Season 5. So the funny thing that Candace Patton says during this is that she's like, you know, what's next for you? You got to wear the suit. You got to be a speedster for an episode. Like, what else is there? And she just chuckles a little bit and says, you know, I hope there's something so that I get to keep my job. Then acknowledges all the speculation about what's going on with Barry and Iris' children in the future too. Because, I mean, eventually at some point, they will have to have children so that you can have the line of Flashes. You can get to Bart Allen. You can do all that stuff from the comics. It's just a matter of when, not a matter of if. So when she does say, you know, people are speculating about Iris and Barry having a child, maybe we'll see Iris with a full belly. She probably doesn't know when they plan on doing that. They're still meant to be very young, so it would be weird if she just automatically got pregnant right away. But because it's the Flash, we have all these crazy twists with time travel, duplicates, pretty much any sci-fi trope you could think of. If you're a big Buffy Angel fan, they did children on that show with a couple big twists, so that they could actually do children without having to make you sit through a couple seasons of doing it the slow way. So the Flash could always find a way to do Barry and Iris children without actually having to get Iris super visibly pregnant on the TV show. So just be prepared for that. But if you're a big Joss Whedon fan and you watched all those old shows, you've seen pretty much every big sci-fi twist there is, so you probably won't be surprised with whatever they end up doing. But we get a little more footage of Harrison Wells in the thinking cap. He's starting to get more and more addicted to that. I know people are wondering if he's going to become a future villain. It's always possible that that's the case, but the series seems like it has a more hopeful spin, so I'll be interested to see what they do with Tom Cavanaugh in Season 5. I will address Season 5 predictions in a second too, but I love Carlos joking about how he changes all of Cisco's lines in episodes. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. I still think that Cisco Season 1, Season 2 was written a little bit better. And then there's just like that funny conversation with Danielle Panabaker where they talk about Sky High. I don't think I've ever seen an interview with her with like another big comic book person where Sky High isn't name dropped at least once. And that was more than 10 years ago. Like, it doesn't seem like that long ago, but that was a long time ago. Talking about Season 5 stuff, I'll address the other CW shows too. So big Season 5 stuff is really getting the show back to a more balanced state. Like, they swung from like really depressing emo Barry during Season 3 to super happy, jokey, over the top at the beginning of Season 4. The way they wrote Ralph Dibny with that whole Three Stooges routine the first couple of episodes, that's probably the best example of them taking it way too far. Then you can tell they sort of recalibrated a little bit, especially at the mid-season finale. So Ralph right now is a little bit better. We don't know if he's going to be coming back on the show next season. I think part of the twist with the new meta that allows them to swap DNA is the way you keep Ralph on the show but take his powers, because previously when you took someone's powers, you'd have to like completely take their body. It'd end up killing them. So if this were happening a couple of episodes ago, she takes Ralph's powers, Ralph is gone. But now, because of what happened with Barry and Iris swapping powers, I think that's them foreshadowing that the Thinker gets those other bus metas without having to kill everybody else. So if they do choose to do that big comic book twist where Thinker is fused with Flash, they can actually do it with the Neil Salen's version without having to actually jump into Barry's body. So you can have Grant Gustin and Hartley Sawyer running around being their normal characters, just depowered because the Thinker has stolen their abilities. So I think they're just clearing room in case they want to bring the elongated man back next season. But I am actually hoping that they slim Team Flash down a little bit. And because we had that last big twist with Iris going back to being a reporter, or at least that's what she implies that she's going to be doing, it sounds like that's what she'll be doing next season, regardless of whether or not we go back to Central City Picture News. They might just have her be a reporter, blogger style like she was during Season 1. Cisco's pretty self-explanatory. He's probably going to become the new leader if Harrison Wells isn't going to be around that much, or if he's going to still be the Earth 2 version of his character. The thing with Tom Cavanaugh is he's very unpredictable. Like, they always roll out different personalities. So depending on how crazy he gets with this thinking cap arc, that could go any number of directions. But I think Cisco is one of the few people that's going to stay put. So it just makes sense that he would step up and become the new team leader at Star Labs. Caitlin is a bit of a question mark because, I really love Danielle Panabaker. I love what she does with Caitlin. I've enjoyed previous versions of Killer Frost, but I'd rather that they pick one or the other and just stick with it. Like, give us a season of Killer Frost or give us a season of Caitlin. And I feel like you can't go back to Caitlin after doing really awesome versions of Killer Frost. Like, we want her in the costume. We want the sassy Caitlin that will just say anything that's on her mind. She balances the team out a little bit when Harrison Wells isn't being a super big asshole. Like during Season 2, like there's always one person on the team that's kind of an asshole that balances out the really happy people. In terms of really big villains, I mean, there's a number of twists that they could take. I would love to see them do a Bart Allen season of The Flash. It feels kind of early for them to do that, so that might not be till Season 6, Season 7. But if they are going to do Barry Iris children, it would make sense that they try to use some time travel aspects where you have things that the children do in the future that are bad that Barry and Iris have to fix, but you also get children in present day, so you get a couple different versions. Like, look at this person that's so awesome, how could they ever do something that was terrible? Cut to that Back to the Future ending where Doc Brown shows up and says, Marty, there's a brand new problem, it's your children. I'd be totally fine with them doing another speedster villain. They burned some of the big ones. It would be fun to see what they're going to do with the new version of the Reverse Flash, but I don't know if they would use that character as the main villain of Season 5. So the big question I think is do you want another speedster villain, like tried true classic story, or do you want to see them try and turn one of the Team Flash characters into a villain, like Killer Frost becomes the villain of a season? Or do you want it to be more of a time travel twist where you have a mixture of good characters like Barry and Iris' children that are villains, so they become antagonists even though they're not straight up villains? But we're going to need more diapers. Everybody leave your theories in the comments below. What do you want them to do with Season 5? So because Flash is back next week, there might be a new promo tomorrow. If there is, I'll totally do a video for it, but just leave all your bonus video requests in the comments below, and I'll name a new giveaway winner when I post new DC. Click here for brand new Flash Godspeed, and click here for brand new Infinity War. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.